this is Pastor Tim on the trail with Major. One of the sad parts about 2021 that's already coming up is Major's gonna be gone. So I'm gonna have like a Major morning hour or so. Anyway, Ed.
Only an hour? Only an hour? Okay.
No, I love working with Major and stuff. And so I wanted to go on the trail with Major. And I asked him to tell a story, but he can't come up with any story he can tell. So we're still going to do it anyway.
We're still going to do it.
But I have a story to tell. When I was in Bible college, I'd gone up home to Houghton Hancock, and I was working. I wasn't working at all. I was goofing around. My only goal was to go downhill skiing. That's about it. On Christmas break, up there they have this outrageous hill called Mount Ripley. Used to be my favorite place to ski. And I got a call from a friend who did the events at the Copper Country Mall, which is not the world's hardest job. There's not much. Anyway, she said they had to fire Santa Claus, which I'm not sure why you fire Santa Claus, but Santa Claus got fired. But they had an emergency need for Santa Claus right now, and she knew that I was much like a dramatic person. So you can play the part of Santa Claus. And I said, no, I can't. I'm really thin. And I was super thin at that time. And she goes, no, you can do it. Just like put a pillow in the outfit and you're in. You're Santa Claus. So I said no, and she said, I'll give you $500 for like 3 performances. And I'm like, I'm a college kid. I'm in. Bring it on, Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. By the way, if you have kids that believe in Santa Claus, don't let them watch this. Anyway, so I'm now playing the part of Santa Claus. And in Houghton Hancock, it's a small area, and the odds are like 100% I'm going to know people in line, right? And I started playing the part just straight up at first, but after a while, I was really enjoying, hey, come up here, little Major, sit on my lap. Major wouldn't even been born back then. Anyway, Ed would sit down and I was talking to them like Santa knew them because Santa knew them. And I knew where they lived. I knew everything about them. He was talking in. I saw a friend come in the line, and he had 2 little kids. He was a Michigan Tech student that I used to goof around with. We'd ski with, and we did a little ice climbing with, and I really didn't know his wife. So he gets in the line. I know the kids. I call him up there, and I'm like, yeah. And I thought, oh, I got the best prank.
Oh no.
I told the kids they lived in an apartment at Michigan Tech. Like a little apartment. I said, Santa's got the best gift ever for you. The kids are like, yay! I'm going to bring you a real pony. And you can ride the pony around the hotel, and you'll have the best time. And I could see the face of my friend. He was like, oh! And his wife, oh my God, don't mess with the baby bears. So they leave, and they're looking at me, and they're so mad.
So do they know it's you?
They don't know it's me. They don't know it's me. And I have kept that. And anyway, wasn't too long after that, and the gal that hired me, and maybe this is how Santa gets fired. Anyway, and so she comes up, and she is mad. And she is not a happy Santa caregiver. Anyway, and so she said, Tim, I can't believe you did that, and you're going to make this right. So she got some gifts from Kmart, which was in the mall, and she made me go visit them and apologize. So I did the first ever Santa apology trip. Now, there is a spiritual lesson. We all do stupid things. We all do things that aren't really thought out. We all say things that aren't the best. But you know what? We can go back as people and just apologize and make it right. And so in 2021, whatever may come, whatever may happen, however we react, whatever we do, remember this: as believers, we can assess it, look at it, apologize for it, and go back and make it right. But that's really not why I'm walking with Major. I want to tell you that story. I'm walking with Major because I love him. What would you like to say to the church family?
Well, as Tim was telling that story, I kind of thought of my own story a little story. A lot of people ask me if Major is my real name, and that's true, it is. And they ask me how my parents came up with that name. And I was named after my great-grandfather. His last name was Major, but he ended up having 6 girls, so it never got passed down as a family name. So I inherited it as a first name. And this man, he was, it's such a blessing to be named after him. He was an incredible man. I got to know him for 16 years of my life. He was this great spiritual mentor. And I remember the day he passed away, kind of a dark cloud loomed over my life. And it was in that moment that I realized, when something bad happens, you have 2 ways to react. You can either draw closer to God or you can step farther away and blame him. And so I guess if I were to leave New Hope with one thing, especially with this past year and all this crazy stuff going on, make sure that when something happens, you step closer to God. You lean into him for your strength and for your comfort and for your help. Because when I was 16, I didn't do that. But I think of this past year, how I did that more than ever and how my walk with God has been closer than it's ever been. So that's my one thing. And I just want to let you know, I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because it's windy out here. So, yeah.
Well, we love Major. I think the greatest things that come our way are relationships and afflictions. It was good for me to be afflicted so I might learn your decrees, O God. And, as one man's countenance, as iron sharpens iron, so one man's countenance sharpens another. Major's friendship has made me a better person and a better follower of Christ. You guys have a happy new year.